Hello and welcome back. Today on this episode I'm going to be presenting some incoming mail. Now this is eBay purchases, it is direct purchases from postal services, and I've also got a couple of items of viewer mail which I'm really chuffed about. I can't wait to get onto those, and I'm going to be discussing a new addition to what I'm going to be collecting. I did mention it briefly in the last, I think it was the last video, or possibly probably the one before, where I'm branching out into another area of collecting. Also, I have finally bit the bullet and I bought some lighter fluid. So today I'm going to attempt, well, not attempt, I'm going to try and not set the house on fire, but also to get some watermarks distinguished on some of my Great Britain stamps. I picked a few selections from different monarchs, so we should see some different watermarks and just see what kind of results we get from this. Other lighter fluids are available. This isn't a sponsored item. I'm no way affiliated with the manufacturer of this. But this was just I thought I'll just pick the cheapest one that's a recognised brand name, and yeah, we'll give that a go. So I've got a watermark tray and some stamps ready for that. But first of all, I'm going to plough on with the incoming mail. Now, the first items I've got, these were purchased from, you may be able to see it on the envelope there, iomstamps.com. Now, this is the post office for the Isle of Man. So this is a new area that I'm now venturing out into. So there are two items here. First of all is another addition to my NASA space missions topical collection, thematic collection, however you want to call it. Now it's got some great photographs on those stamps. You know, like I've said before, I am a massive space nerd, and especially the missions of Mercury, Gemini and Apollo, you know, just one hell of a story. And you know, what these men achieved in such a short span of time, pushing the boundaries. And you know, it does kind of rattles my cage a bit when you see people going on about how the moon landings were faked. When you actually do the research on the Apollo program, if they were going to fake it, they wouldn't have spent all this time and research and development. They wouldn't have spent all the many hundreds of man hours testing equipment in Earth orbit, rendezvousing in Earth orbit to test out the vehicles, to then fly to the moon on Apollo 8, to then circumnavigate the moon, to then come back, to then go back again on Apollo 9 and 10, to test the command module and the lunar module. Why would you go to the expense of doing all that if you're just going to fake the landing part? One of the funnier quotes I did see was that it was all filmed by Stanley Kubrick, and some joker at NASA said, yes, that's true. The only problem we had was he insisted filming on location. So I think that kind of sums it up. So yeah, it's, you know, the achievements of these men was just something else. And I like how these, like Apollo at 50 and One Small Step, it seems to be a similar theme across the Crown dependencies. So Jersey, Guernsey and Isle of Man have all got very similar stamps in this same theme, which I think is really nice. So that'll be going in my in my NASA album. What else I picked up was this 2023 set here of the Isle of Man stamps. And as you can see, they're all kind of stylized versions there of the Triskelion, the three-legged emblem for the Isle of Man. That one there is the suit of armour, which is really nice. And then you've got these other sort of more artistic, you know, renditions of that. There's another nice one there. And if you notice here now, all the stamps of the Crown Dependencies, which is, as I've said, Isle of Man, Jersey and Guernsey, are now showing the royal cipher for King Charles III. There is now no longer any indication of Queen Elizabeth on these stamps. So this is the first set from the Isle of Man. There's a lovely set from Jersey, which is the Year of the Rabbit, which I'm also going to pick up. But yeah, I'm definitely plodding on with the Isle of Man as my first port of call for my Crown Dependencies collection. Now, the Crown Dependencies don't actually belong to United Kingdom, but they are under the protection, militarily, especially of Great Britain. Now, the Isle of Man is an island located in the Irish Sea, between the coast of England, it's just off the coast of Morecambe in the northwest, and Ireland, and it's also south of Scotland. Now, Jersey and Guernsey and the other Channel Islands, the smaller islands of Alderney and Sark, are off the coast of Normandy. So even though they're closer to France, they are actually Crown Dependencies. I think that dates back to probably the Norman invasion and the Duchy of Normandy and all that. You know, that land ownership that dates back to that period. But I think these are a really beautiful set of stamps. Yeah, I'm really impressed with those. We've got some nice traffic lights there on the selvage, and again on that side. So yeah, that's the first items. So next up we have got this is an eBay purchase. And we've got a little glassine envelope here. These are from Gibraltar. This was a set of stamps that just kind of piqued my interest when I saw it. In fact, what I'm going to do to highlight those, let me just take this card out of the... I can put those on here. Do apologise for this faffing about. So again, not an area that I specifically collect, but it does fall under my, you know, collecting of Commonwealth stamps. Now, come here. Trying to escape from me. Let's move these over. Thusly. And this is a set of stamps to commemorate the centenary of the accession of George V to the throne in 1910. So this is a set of stamps from Gibraltar in 2010. Now, the one that piqued my interest was this one here, because this shows George V, you know, beavering away there at his stamp albums. So I like to think that that's a nice representation of us in a stamp form there. You know, the hobby of kings, well, at least one king anyway. So yeah, another nice set. I am quite impressed with those. So let me pop those back in the glassine. Put those up there, out of the way. And then next up, this is the first piece of viewer mail. Now, this has come from the US. And this is from a viewer called Jeff Alexander. And he did email me. He reached out to me via email, said that he would like to send me some stamps. And this is what he sent me. He sent me a little card. So thank you very much for Jeff. This is a different Jeff than had sent me the stamps the other day, which had that big bundle, including a whole, you know, a whole raft of Isle of Man stamps, which kind of, you know, give me that little push to look at collecting those. So these are US stamps. So we've got, looks like we've got some on paper, some off paper, in this little glassine. So let's have a look what we've got here. Again, you know, I am quite ignorant of some USA stamps. It's just not something that I've seen these before. I think I've got some of these. I did ask the question, I think, previously, are these the set of presidents where the denomination of cents also indicates which president of the US it is? So number 1 would be George Washington. Number 2 would be, I don't know, is that John Adams? I'm sorry, I'm not down to pat really with yeah, John Adams. I'm quite impressed with myself there. Then is that Jefferson, I think, on the... Hey, look at that, 3 out of 3. I can name the first 3 presidents of the US. Religious freedom. Ponce de Leon, not sure. Got a nice airmail stamp there. That's quite nice. Rise of the Spirit of Independence. Now, I previously mentioned I've been to the US. I've only been once, but I was there for a couple of weeks. And I was staying with a friend, my best friend from England, who's lived in Philadelphia for 15 years now. So I stayed at his apartment in city centre Philly, which was amazing. Had a really great time. Saw some wonderful sights. So I did all the touristy things in Philadelphia. Well, that's a nice one for my NASA collection, Apollo Soyuz. I've seen those capsules actually. They're at the Smithsonian in Washington DC. So I've actually seen those two spacecraft, and they are actually docked. They're suspended from the ceiling at the Air and Space Museum. It's a fantastic place. If you ever get a chance, then I suggest you go and visit. Voice of America. Christmas issue. Another Spirit of Independence. Oh, and another space one. We've got a Mercury capsule there. And again, this is something you'll see the Mercury capsule as well as the Gemini capsule at the Air and Space Museum, the Smithsonian. The Mercury was the first spacecraft the Americans launched. Alan Shepard being the first suborbital pilot, followed by John Glenn, who did an orbital flight. Gus Grissom, Wally Schirra, Scott Carpenter. I'm trying to think who the other guy was, who was the Dick Slayton. So yeah, they all went up in the Mercury capsule. The Gemini was a very similar looking capsule, but it was a bit larger, and actually it was a two-man crew. And it was the Gemini pilots that are probably more famous towards the Apollo missions. People like John Young, Charlie Duke, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Dave Scott, Gene Cernan, Pete Conrad. They were all people who would have flown on the Gemini missions. They were the second intake of NASA astronauts. Sorry, I'm just waffling on now, aren't I? I don't mean to bore you on NASA facts and figures. It's just something I keep rabbiting on about once I start. Frank Lloyd Wright. That's a name that I know, and I don't know why I know it. Is he written... Was that he the Stars and Stripes guy? I don't know. I'm just... It's something... If it's not that, it's something similar. Is that another one of those? Yeah. Another Rise of the Spirit of Independence. And another Thomas Jefferson. I've been to the Jefferson Memorial as well in DC. That's absolutely beautiful. It's a big rotunda with the statue of Jefferson in the middle. I went there at night and it was all lit up. It's just off to the side of the reflecting pool near the Lincoln Memorial. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. And we've got a... What's that? Johnny Appleseed? That's a name I know again. I think that's some US folklore, isn't it? Johnny Appleseed. And then we've got... Is that Washington? I think. Yeah, looks like another George Washington. And then another... Yeah, some nice stamps. And like I said, another two there towards my my NASA collection. So I'll put them over to one side. And finally, now this is from Jeff, Foxridge Philately, and it's Jeff who sent me the big bundle of stamps last week from Canada that had the mixture of Isle of Man, Russian, Botswana, all sorts of stuff in there, and he'd sent me another package which he messaged me to let me know was coming. So I'm really grateful to Jeff. You know, some absolutely fantastic stuff in that last week. And oh wow, we've got Isle of Man. So this is a nice treat for my Isle of Man collection. I do have those Machins, but that now gives me the opportunity to mount those in both my Machins album and also in my new stock book, which I've already purchased, which is sat just on the table in front of me over there, for the Isle of Man stamps. I've not put anything in it yet. I've also ordered the Stanley Gibbons catalogue for the Isle of Man, Jersey and Guernsey. It's a single volume that contains all 3 of those crown dependencies. Oh wow. Some more of these look like mint never hinged. Some nice TT stamps there with motorbikes. Isle of Man again. I'm guessing that quite a lot of these are just Isle of Man stamps. I think these are a set of definitives from my limited knowledge so far. A couple of Europa stamps there from the Isle of Man. And some railways. And, oh, very nice. Some nice Wilding mint never hinged definitives from 1958 to 69. So that's those. And what we got on this side? Yeah, some more Isle of Man. It looks like this is entirely for the Isle of Man. Isle of Man again. And again, some more motorcycles for the TT races, the tourist trophy. And then we've got a glassine bag here, and we've got another glassine there. Right, let me see if I can. It's the easiest way to get to that one. I think it may be. That one is that. Yep. Sorry about this. There we go, that's those little envelopes removed. So you can peel that one off without tearing. Yep, there we go. And see if we can separate this one now. I'm having a right mess about here, aren't I? Do apologise. Should have just done this right from the very start. It would have made things so much easier. But never mind. Right, let's get ourselves sorted out. There we go. So, this looks like we've got a miniature sheet of some description. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I've never seen that before. So that's a nice well, sugar. He says as he nearly throws it on the floor. Miniature sheet there, celebrating the 150th anniversary of... Oh, and now he does throw it on the floor. Oh, I do apologise. So yeah, we've got some coins, some early essays, and we've got the penny black and the twopenny blue there, reprinted as Isle of Man. One as a first class, one as a denomination of 37 pence, and they both got the Queen Elizabeth cipher. But yeah, nice mini sheet there. So let me put that back in the glassine before I do any more damage and throw it around. I do apologise, Jeff. Don't mean to mistreat your gifts like that. Right, so that's those. Oh, and then we've got another glassine here with and this looks like a bumper crop of, is this more? Oh no, this is Netherlands. Yeah, I also mentioned Netherlands, didn't I? That was something I was toying with the idea. So yeah, this looks like these are all Netherlands. Yeah, I've seen that style before. I think I've got some of those, but in different denominations. I do have some older Netherlands stamps in the stamp album that came from the stamp album that was passed down from my uncle. Netherlands, yeah, some monarch heads, and I'm not going to get all these out now. But yeah, oh nice. I've got a couple of days off this week. I'm off tomorrow and Friday. Today is Wednesday, the 25th, and I'm off Friday and Thursday and Friday this week. So I've got some time tomorrow. I'm gonna go through those. I'll put those unsorted as such in one of my stock books, and then do a bit of research on those and find out exactly what they are. But those are fantastic. This Isle of Man bundle is absolutely superb, Jeff. I can't thank you enough for that. I really do appreciate it as much as I did for the bundle you sent me the other day. And same again to the other Jeff who's sending me this lovely selection here of US stamps. Again, very much appreciated. You know, I feel quite humbled really to have received such, especially this, you know, these large quantities here. So thank you very much. I am grateful, and they will be looked after, he says, after he's been throwing miniature sheets around. So that covers the incoming mail. Now, I did say, didn't I, that we were going to talk about watermarks and using lighter fluid. So without further ado, let's give this experiment a try. Now, I haven't got any open flames in the house, so I should be okay to be pouring this lighter fluid. I'll put a little bit in the bottom of the tray. This stuff should evaporate fairly quickly. Close that. Don't want that spilling anywhere. So on here I've got a selection of some British stamps. These are all George V. Edward VII. So these should all have the Imperial Crown watermark. So if we that's a perfin as well, so that's not really. Yeah, that doesn't help the fact that that's got the perfin holes on it, but I can see a watermark there for sure. Yeah, there is a bit of a smell. It's not overpowering from where I'm sat, so yeah, if I bring it to my nose, obviously that does smell. Oh, there we go. So that seems fairly clear. You can probably see that there. That's the Imperial Crown watermark. So that is very, very clearly defined. So that's fantastic. So maybe this lighter fluid is a good, you know, a good solution to the problem. So let me just put that on the card there. Just see how quickly this evaporates. Again, this should be another Imperial crown. And there's definitely one there. It's not as distinct. I think there might be some backing paper. Oh no, it is there. I can see it. Yeah, that's clear as well. That is very clear. Now you can see it. So you've got it. It's a little bit more over to the left. There you've got the three sort of rises there, and then the base of the crown. So we know that that works. So we'll leave Edward the Seventh. I've got an old tatty imperf penny red. I'm not sure what the watermark is of these off the top of my head. But there should be one on there. But that looks, yeah, that's very non-distinct. I think the heavy cancellation doesn't help. This is another Victoria stamp. I know that's got some text on the back that it's picked up from the envelope, and it has torn. Excuse me. So, yeah. Obviously not the best examples to attempt. These are some George the Sixth. Might need a bit more fluid actually putting in these. Oh, there we go. I can see that one starting to appear. Just put a bit more. And that appears to be some sort of cipher. Don't know if that's inverted or not. Yeah. So you can see the GVIR. Yeah, that one's fairly clear as well. Don't know if you can see that. If you look down towards the bottom here, you can see a G. So this is inverted, or shall I say reversed. So you're looking at it, if you're looking through the front of the stamp, it would be the right way around. So that's a G. We've got a VI for 6, the Roman numerals, and then an R which goes off the paper. And then we've got the small, looks like the Tudor crown there at the top. I don't think we can argue with those. Now my camera's just indicated it's stopped recording and restarted again. So if there is a cut, I do apologise. It has definitely started again. And again. We have a very distinct watermark there. You can see we've got the crown and the GV1R. And is that? Yeah. So yeah, but this is a different, yeah, definitely successful attempt, apart from those two Victorian ones, which obviously I think that's more to do with the state of those stamps than it is anything else. And again, that one's come up straight away. I don't know if you can see that. We've got the GV1R and the little crown again. Very distinct. I'll have to dig those out of the... I'll dig those watermarks out of the catalogue and I shall overlay them on the video up here so that you can see just exactly what those are. So all in all, I would call that lighter fluid 1, postmarks 0. A victory for the lighter fluid. And if we'll go back to these ones that I looked at earlier, these have now, let me just touch those. Yeah, those are dried. It doesn't appear to be any detrimental. It's not like there's nothing running, which is the issue I had with the using isopropyl. Thankfully I use that on some far shabbier stamps than these, but these are all duplicates. I've got, I've got masses and masses of some of these stamps, talking 10s, 20s, 30s of some of these George VI, and even some of these George V stamps. So if I'd have lost a couple of these, or they'd been deteriorated in some way, I wouldn't be overly bothered. They're not particularly valuable, they're not worth anything, they're not rare stamps. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. That was I think that cost me £4.29 on Amazon, and that was delivered. So for £4.29, as opposed to the £17-18 I've seen for the Prin's lighter fluid, including shipping from the US, which could take God knows how many days or weeks to get here, then I think this is quite a good compromise. And to be honest, I don't do that much watermarking, so it tends to be in fits and starts, so I might get a batch of stamps that I'll need to identify, and it might be a couple of hours one day, and then I probably won't use it again for another another month or so, or 2 months or whatever. But yeah, no, I'm impressed with that. That's a good result. It's a good idea to have a watermark tray, a black tray, as long as it's plastic. Doesn't have to be a specific watermark tray, just some, you could probably just use some kind of plastic tray from anything, like some packaging or something. But yeah, this was a specific watermark tray. I mean, I only paid a couple of pounds for it, I think. Again, this came off eBay or Amazon way back, probably about 15 years ago. But yeah, it definitely helps. You can see the whites, the white background of the stamp against the black contrasting bottom, and that fluid just really does soak in and highlights those watermarks. So that is going to help me out big time on sorting out those postage due stamps that I bought recently. So I'm going to mention the elephant in the room, which is the subscribers, almost at 500. I can't believe how quickly it shot up from like around about the 460 to almost 500 mark. I'm in the 490s today at time of recording. So over the next few days, I'm hopeful that I can crack the 500 subscriber mark, which is a huge milestone, and one that I'm really, really proud of achieving. And I couldn't have done it without you guys watching and supporting, liking my videos, commenting, and subscribing. I am going to be giving away some stamps for my 500 subscriber giveaway competition, which I'm going to let that ride now until next week. So that will probably be Tuesday next week when I announce that. I still don't have everything in that I want to be putting in the giveaway, but I will, so there may be some surprises that I don't actually show that you get once the giveaway is won. But up to now, I think I've got four or five items that are in the bundle. There's only one prize, so one subscriber or one viewer will win a bundle containing everything that I'm including in the giveaway. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please click the like button. if not already, you can add to that subscriber counts by hitting the subscribe button. Click the notification bell if you wish to be notified of when my content is released. I know I said I was going to do 2 this week. I did have some personal issues that I needed to deal with, and that kind of interrupted the flow, so I've ended up doing the video today instead of yesterday or tomorrow. I'm not doing the recording tomorrow because, again, I've got some time off work and one of my sons is coming over tomorrow and I'm going to spend a bit of time with him. And the next video will be on Saturday, which will be a long form video on a single topic, as I tend to do with the weekend videos. So that's it for today. I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe, keep warm, and until next time, bye for now. Take care.